So, the world is doomed, you're in a writing class, blah, blah, blah. What are we actually going to do in here? So, hopefully by now you've looked at the syllabus, you've looked at the major assignment sheet, but I'm betting you still got some questions. Well, that's why we're here. You're probably coming into this class with a lot of questions. I know, for instance, that all of you have been in College Composition 1. You've got your basic intro to what it's like to be a college writer. So is this course going to be like that? Well, no. It's going to be different in a whole lot of ways. What ways? Well, I'm glad you asked. First off, when people come into this class, some people assume that since we're not doing college-level writing, we're going to be doing stupid writing, dumb writing, easy writing, brain-dead writing, and no. You have to think about stuff in this class. Thinking is not optional. And in fact, you might end up thinking in a whole lot of different ways. It's not better or worse than the type of writing you did in Comp 1. It's going to be different, though. One of the things I'm sure you talked about in Comp 1 was analysis of rhetorics and an awareness of the rhetorical situation of your essays, how you manipulate your audience. But let's face it, in a college composition class, this is pretty easy because you know who your audience is going to be. It's going to be your professor. Most college writers won't admit this, but yeah, you're writing for your professor, an expert in the field, and this is going to require you to do certain things. Well, in this type of writing, in our class, you're going to be writing for a whole wide range of audiences, including, but not limited to, the general public, executives in your company, coworkers, and you're going to approach each of these types of audiences differently because each of the types of audiences have different needs, and you're going to have to do different things to communicate with each of these types of audiences. Another way this writing is going to be different than what you did in Comp 1 is in here, document design and how stuff looks is important. And it's not important because we just want to be pretty and we want everything to look beautiful. We do, but that's not the reason. How stuff looks has a direct connection to how usable it is. Usability and looks go hand in hand here. Where you put stuff on the page shows importance. How clear stuff jumps out makes stuff usable. Let's do an example. Let's say that you've decided you want to put together an exercise plan. And it doesn't matter if you're just someone who's been avoiding exercise all your life or you're doing this in a professional way. If someone wants to start working out, having a plan for how to proceed in exercise is a good idea. So do you just get a few resources and just start writing out a plan? This leaves a lot to be desired. It's hard to read. It's hard to really get into the individual elements of it. It's easy to get confused. So, making it look better, one good solution is to type it up. And this is better, mind you, but it's not great. It looks like somebody decided, hey, we can do a list here. And indeed, that's what it is. It's unbalanced. You've got 4 days over to the left and 1 day to the right. So your eye tends to get pulled into weird directions while you're doing this. So, having it look better is going to make it more usable. Let's do a revision of it and we might end up with something like this. There's a lot of good things going on here. It's easy to separate out the days. It's easy to, if you're looking for what you do on Tuesday, to lock into it right away. There are footnotes, so if you need extra information, it's down there. But there's also some downsides here, too. It's a little bit unbalanced. There looks to be larger sections on the right than the left, but the biggest problem here is usability. The first item on Monday, 54, clamshell, lay, doesn't really give you enough information on how you'd actually do something. If you want to do something like peck fly, 94, which is the last item on Thursday, You'd have to break out whatever book 94 refers to and do it. So we need to revise this to make it more usable. And this is a place where graphics and images can really help you. And this is all stuff you don't do in Comp 1. Usability is very important. And we know this because other than your standard college composition classes, where, let's face it, you're writing manuscripts for the most part, most of the other stuff we encounter is designed to be usable. This is a website with really good usability. The name is highlighted. How the services are laid out on the page makes it easy to see what they are. When you see stuff in blue, you know it's probably a link. This is all stuff we're going to cover in a lot more detail. I've got multiple videos on document design, and we'll talk about all this stuff later. Now, in terms of the specific writing assignments we're going to do in this class, well, let's talk about some of the types of documents. We're going to do profiles. We're going to do job application material. We're going to do memos. We're going to do informal reports. We're going to do advertising. We're going to do formal reports, and we might do some more stuff. When we do our assignments in here, we could write about this from the perspective of somebody who's in college, in your first year of college and taking a writing class, but that's not going to be as valuable as if you do a little bit of role-playing. If we act like professionals in the field, we can do these things a bit more realistically. So each of the assignments you're going to have in here is going to ask you to be a professional in the field and do a professional-looking documents. If you want all the details for this, go to the major assignment sheet, which is available in course documents and should be in the first classes folder, and it spells out all the assignments. I want to talk about the first things we'll be doing in here. The first is a minor assignment, which is the profile. No, not a dating profile. The assignment sheet has this all spelled out. You're going to roleplay that you're a business writer, and your company wants to put together a directory of all of its employees. Beyond just listing contact information, titles, and degrees, however, your employer wants an actual biographical profile. So you're going to be writing your own profile for publication both within the company and to the public, dual audiences. And the assignment sheet lists what your profile should include. A photograph, something professional, please. I had a student a few years ago who kept putting in pictures of himself at the bar. Not really what we have in mind. Basic biographical information, career interests and goals. This is, you're pretending to be in the field already. You will want some personal factoids to humanize yourself as well. And the assignment sheet goes on and gives you more detail how you need to have this thing laid out. You want it to look good, be visually attractive. You're going to submit it as a PDF, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you check out your class's specific major assignment sheet, as the information might be slightly different. So the assignment sheet lays out all of this stuff. Having your assignment look good with a nice photo and laid out well is going to be important. And yeah, I know we haven't talked about document design yet, but the videos are out there, and we do have a revision policy in this class, which is spelled out in the major assignment sheet. Also, I wanted to give you a sample, so I went ahead and did a profile as if I was doing the assignment, and this will be available on Blackboard. The first major assignment, which you'll also be working on right away, is the job application material. And I'm not going to go over it here because I did put out several videos. One going over the assignment itself, one how to do a really good job on the assignment itself, and one how to do it if you don't have directly relevant skills. And these will all give you a lot more detail. So, start on the self-profile, go ahead and look at the job application material stuff and start working on that as well. So that's some information on the types of writing we're going to do, a little bit on the self-profile, and a point towards the job application material. Yeah, I know we're getting started and jumping into stuff right away, but this is a writing class after all. You kind of got to do some writing in it, and we're going to have time to get everything down pat. There's a revision policy. I mentioned it in the video. It's also listed in the major assignment sheet, so we got plenty of time. If you have questions as we go about this, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to help you. Keep an eye out for future videos. If you have questions about this, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to help you, and keep an eye out for future videos because I'm always about explaining stuff. See you in the next video.